speak directly to the microphone. Shine right over you and the witness that we're fine already.
Thank you. Good morning.
Good morning.
Please introduce yourself to the court.
My name is Cole Goldberg.
Spell your last name, please.
Goldberg.
Where do you live, Mr. Goldberg?
I live in Boca Raton, Florida.
And who do you live with?
I live with my family, my mom, dad, sister, brother, and my girlfriend. I have a guest house off to the side currently.
Okay, and that's where you live with your girlfriend in the guest home?
Yes, sir.
And are you the oldest of the three children?
Yes, sir.
And how old are you?
I am 26. I'm turning 27 tomorrow.
Okay. Did you grow up in Boca?
Yes, for the most part.
Okay. When did you move to Boca?
When I was in first grade, so maybe 5, 6 years old.
Okay. Where did you come from?
I was born in Long Island, New York.
Okay. And where you live now, is it where you lived back in 2022, in this case, Apple?
Yes, sir.
And what's the name of the community?
It's called the Broken Sound Country Club.
All right. Is it a fairly affluent community?
I would say so.
Okay. Tell us where you went to school.
I went to Calusa Elementary School, then Omni Middle School, and Spanish River High School. And then I went to Lake Forest College in Chicago. I got a academic and athletic scholarship.
And what kind of scholarship? Academic? And what was the other one?
Athletic was like a 50-50 scholarship.
For what kind of sports?
Football.
And what position did you play?
Mid receiver.
Wide receiver?
Wide receiver, yes.
Okay. And you do that throughout high school?
Yes.
And we went to Lake Forest is the name of the school?
Yes.
Is that a D2 school?
It was actually D3.
Oh, okay. And did you actually play there?
I only stayed for about 2 weeks in training camp, and I unfortunately suffered a torn meniscus, so I came back home for surgery.
Okay. And what did you do after that for school?
I recovered and ended up going to Florida Atlantic University, where I was able to walk on the team there as well.
Okay. Did you actually make the team?
Yes.
Like red shirt?
Just a walk on.
Oh, walk on. Okay. And is that a D1 school?
Yes, sir.
Did you actually play there?
No, sir.
How come?
My injuries just kept keeping up, and COVID happened, then I ended up transferring to Florida State University.
Okay. Did you eventually graduate Florida State?
Yes, sir.
And while growing up, we met Angela. That was obviously your ex-girlfriend?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And do you share the same sentiments about what happened with Caroline that she testified to? Like at Rocco's Tacos and you blocking her and things like that?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So let's talk about after you graduated college. What year was that?
I graduated in December of 2021.
Okay, and that was from Florida State?
Yes, sir. I finished online.
And what was it during COVID?
Yeah, it was towards the back end of COVID. I also didn't really want to be up there that long. I was still focused on my studies, and I was preparing for actually to go to law school. I had an LSAT scheduled and all that stuff, and it was very distracting up in Tallahassee.
Okay. Distracting meaning partying?
Yes, I lived with 3 other roommates, and they constantly were having people over during the week, and I just couldn't focus there, so I came home.
Okay. And you come from a long line of attorneys in your family?
Yes, sir.
And that's been on hold since this case?
Yes, sir.
All right. So you come home, you work, what do you do when you're home? When you're finishing school and just graduating, what do you do?
On the side, when I was taking finishing online, I was just working part-time at the Dare nightclub in Hollywood Hard Rock Hotel.
And I know it's obvious Dare nightclub, but basically what is it?
It's just a day and nightclub. They have sections, they have big performers coming in.
Hold on, you say day and night, I don't know what that
They
means.
have 2 sections, so they have an outdoor with a pool, they have day party, and then they have an interior for the nightclub.
Okay. So sometimes it's functioning during the day and sometimes at night?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And people generally your age go there?
Yeah, I would say so.
Okay. And what did you do there?
I was sort of like a promoter. I just knew a lot of people just growing up in the area, and everyone just liked to go there. That was like the new club back in the day, so it was definitely had a lot of hype. I would bring people in, just fill up sections, which are tables, try to sell some as well.
Did you get paid by the amount of people you would bring in?
Yes, sir.
Okay, is this a part-time job?
Yes, I just did it for on the side, just for extra money.
Roughly how much would you make a week or a month, roughly?
month, about maybe 2,000, nothing crazy.
Okay. And did you have any other jobs at this point?
No, I was just focused on finishing school and preparing for my LSAT.
All right. Did you eventually meet Caroline Schwitzsky?
Yes, sir.
And how did you meet her?
She was at one of the tables that I was working on at their nightclub. She was just sitting there when I came in.
Okay. And did you eventually strike up a relationship or a friendship?
Yeah, I introduced myself. I offered her a drink. I was being very polite. And I didn't realize it was her, or wondering who that was, because I was so down in the section to bring people to. And she was just there.
Okay. And is it fair to say you both became very close?
Definitely, yes.
Tell the court how close were you with her? Now, did you meet her children?
I did, yes.
And what were the ages roughly of the children during that time period?
She had 3 kids. It was Chase, Jaden, and Chanel, so 2 boys and 1 girl. Chase was the oldest. I believe he was about 9 years old, and there was Jaden, which was 8, and Chanel, the girl, which was about 7.
Okay. And did you eventually come to meet them?
Yes.
Pretty quick?
Yes.
Did you babysit them at times?
Yes.
Were they brought over to your family's home?
Yes, they came over a couple times. They were in part of the kids program that my mom has. She was teaching dance classes as well there.
Who was teaching dance classes?
Schwitzsky at times.
All right. So your mom has a daycare?
Yes.
Okay. So you start going out with Miss Schwitzsky, was this every day, once a week? How often would you?
Well, she lived in Miramar, and it was kind of an hour away from me, give or take. So I would mostly see her on the weekends when we went to there together, because she eventually got a job there as well. Maybe once during the week, once or twice. But towards the end of the relationship, it was more and more during the week as well.
Did you ever try to deceive her how old you were?
Sorry?
Did you ever deceive her or lie to her how old you were?
No.
Did she tell you how old she was?
At the time, I believe so, yes.
Okay, so she's 10, 11 years older than you?
10 years older, yes.
Okay, that didn't bother you?
No, I didn't think anything of it.
Were you looking for a long-term relationship or marriage or becoming a stepdad?
No, not at all.
So why did you continue a relationship with her? What happened?
We were actually both in agreement that it was just sort of like a day by day or summer thing. I met her in July, and we were kind of best friends and kept just being with each other every time.
So it lasted a lot longer than you anticipated?
Correct, yes.
Okay. Did Ms. Schwitzsky also spend nights at your home?
She did.
With your parents?
Yes.
In the guest house or?
The guest house, yes.
Oh, okay. Were kids there or they were being watched by somebody else?
They came, they would never stay the night though.
Oh, okay. Did you know what kind of work Ms. Schwitzsky did when you first met her or during your relationship?
Yes, she told me she was a talent agent, and she was also a truck dispatcher at the time I met her. Just for a 9-to-5 job, and just that makes some extra money.
Did you ever get involved in her business?
No, I didn't.
All right. How about in terms of reality stuff? Did you know she did reality TV?
Yes.
Were you ever planning on doing reality with her? Or did she ever try to get you to participate in that?
Yeah, we had a plan at one. We did.
What were you going to do?
She wanted to go on divorce court.
All right. And that never happened because of this case?
Correct.
So, during your relationship, let's jump to April 24th of 2022. Was your relationship on the outs at that point? Like she testified to?
No, we were perfectly fine. I mean, we had a very loving, caring relationship. We were basically best friends. I mean, we enjoyed every second together.
Okay. So, when she testified yesterday that she woke up in the morning and basically saying it was over, do you share the same sentiments as she does?
No, not at all. She uses that pretty loosely at times, just if she doesn't get what she wants sometimes, but it was never really a serious thing.
What was not really a serious thing?
If she ever says, oh, we're done or whatever.
Oh, she would say that during her relationship with you?
At times if she doesn't, like if I said, oh, well, I want to go to the Publix with your children for a second, or I can't afford it at times, and she'd say, oh, you're not a man, we're done.
All right. Did you come to financially help her, so to speak?
Yes, I had to help with rent at times, car repairments, many other things, gas, nails. As the time went on, the months went on, I took on more responsibilities that I couldn't really do.
Where'd you get the money from?
I actually had to take it out of my student loan account. I wasn't making money at the time.
Just from their nightclub?
That's it. That's the only real income I was making.
Okay, so you borrowed money or took money from your student loans?
Correct.
Okay. Did that bother you, or you were okay with it?
That didn't bother me, but I felt like I had no option.
Okay. If you wanted to keep the relationship?
Correct.
All right, and you wanted to keep the relationship?
Yes.
Okay. So I know the court knows what Boca Bash is. We heard a lot about that. I won't get into that, but there came a time where you were going to Boca Bash.
Yes.
And have you been to Boca Bash before?
I've been going maybe since I was 10 years old.
Okay, so most of your life.
Yes.
Did your family have a boat at one point?
Yes.
And most of your friends have boats, or a lot of them do?
Yes.
Are you familiar with Lake Boca?
Yes.
Tell the court what Lake Boca basically looks like, what it is.
Lake Boca is like a perimeter. There's a hotel on the west side.
What kind of hotel?
It's called the Boca Raton right now.
Okay.
It's a big tower.
Oh, okay. That used to be the Boca Resort?
Correct.
Oh, okay. And they redid it?
Yes.
Okay. So,
There's homes on the east side, the north side, and I believe there's another hotel on the south side. There's a channel on the west side where the boat traffic goes, and then if you go maybe southeast, that's where the inlet is, or the ocean. You get access to the ocean.
okay. And you've been there, how many times did you say, to that area?
Every time I go on a boat, you go there. That's like the place to go.
Okay.
Yeah.
And Boca Bash is just a large, super large gathering of people?
Yes, it's an annual event, the last Sunday of every April. Everyone just plans to go there and spend the whole day. It's a big boating event.
All right. Were you aware the police had problems over there previous to this, April 2022?
Problems?
Like they were trying to shut it down, or were you aware of anything like that?
Yes, of course. There's a lot of incidents. Unfortunately, people like to try to drink and drive afterwards. So there's a lot of police in the area, and a lot of accidents happen.
Okay. And you were aware of that when you went there?
Yes.
All right. You haven't been back, have you?
Since then, no.
Okay. So April 23rd, the day before 2022, this incident happened. Remember what you did?
Caroline spent the night with me. That's pretty much it.
Okay. At your parents' home, and you're in the guest house with her?
Correct, because we had to wake up pretty early, probably around 7:30 a.m.
All right. And when you got up, was there any conflicts at all between you and Caroline?
I didn't think there was a conflict, but there was a time where I had connections to boats and
You what?
connections to a boat. So people wanted to reserve boats last minute for Boca Bash because they're very strict with the amount of people on a boat per person per life jacket.
What do you mean that connections with boats?
I knew people are renting out boats.
Oh, okay. Friends of yours?
Yeah.
All right. This wasn't like a business, it just...
No, it was just something I was helping a friend that called me.
Oh,
So I was going to refer her to a boat so she could get on that morning.
did that cause a problem?
Yeah, she kind of questioned me and was like, who's calling you? Why are you speaking to a girl? And I was like, I'm just a friend of mine. I'm just trying to help her get out to Boca Bash this morning.
Was this a major problem, or was something that just got...
I mean,
Just
it
rubbed
was
under the carpet.
just threw it under the rug.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. We were both super excited to go that day. It was her first time there, and she was constantly talking how excited she was to go.
All right. And you were excited?
Of course, yes.
All right. And you get to see a lot of your friends, I'm sure.
Yes.
All right. So you guys wake up. What do you do after that? Where do you go?
We wake up, we get some breakfast, then we proceed to CVS and Publix. She got some makeup accessories, I got some ice, and we picked up, I believe, some champagne and seltzers, alcohol seltzers,
Okay.
and maybe a food platter, can't recall it.
All right. And you bring this where?
We go to Sebastian Espinosa's father's house.
Okay. And you've been there before?
Yes.
And he testified you agree you're friends with him?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And we're fair to say there was multiple people on Sebastian's father's boat,
Yeah, I would say there's around 10 to 12 people.
and it's Dr. Sebastian's. What's his last name? Fabrizio? I'm sorry. What's Sebastian's last name?
It was Dr. Espinosa's.
Espinosa. All right. And you know him too?
Yes, I did.
And he was driving the boat.
Yes,
Okay. And the rest of the people on the boat were your age approximately?
I would say so, yes.
All right. So when you're leaving, is there any problems between you and Ms. Schwitzsky at this point?
Not at all. We were super excited to go. Again, it was her first time, and she really wanted to go. It's an annual event that only happens once a year, so she was really excited.
Is it important to get there early?
Definitely, if you want to get spot by the sandbar.
Okay. And do you guys leave pretty early?
We leave around 9:30. I would say we leave the ramp. Where's dock?
All right. That's just a guess?
It's a guess, yes.
All right, but pretty early.
Definitely, yes.
And when you get there, is there anything unusual happen on the way there?
No, everyone's listening to music, and we see all the boat traffic heading towards Lake Boca.
Okay, just an all day.
Everyone's excited. Yes.
Okay. And where do y'all park generally or pull up?
We went to the middle, which is the sandbar, so we were able to stand.
When you, the tides must change, but when you first get there, how high is the sandbar? Like if you're on the sandbar, how high is the water?
The morning was pretty low, I would say. It was when we got there, I would say it was maybe shin high, a little just barely, right below the knees, I would say.
Okay, how about this gets later? Does it change?
Yes.
What's the difference?
I mean, it's constantly going up and down, but it raises definitely towards the afternoon.
Just give us an
Above the knee now, definitely.
Well, above the waist?
Not on the sandbar, but if you go a little bit out, further out, maybe your head's under.
Okay, but you can stand on the sandbar all day if you wanted to.
Yes.
Okay, you've been there over and over many times?
Yes.
All right. So you guys get there, y'all start drinking when you first get there, or how does that work?
Yeah, everyone has a drink, kind of like start the day drink, and just happy to be there. So.
Did you start drinking actually before you arrived to the sandbar area?
On the way there, we definitely, everyone had a little bit of mimosa.
Okay. Do you think by 10 o'clock you were feeling the effects a little bit of alcohol?
Yes.
Okay. So you drove to Mr. Espinosa's home. How were you going to get home that day?
I was planning on Ubering or maybe spending the night at his house.
All right. You knew you weren't going to drive?
No.
Okay. So you drink and you weren't worried about causing any issues?
Correct.
At least for driving?
Correct.
Okay. So you all start drinking even before you get to the sandbar?
Yes, the boat's driving, we started drinking, yes.
Okay. So by early morning, you're already feeling the effects?
Yes.
All right. And do you continue drinking throughout the day?
Yes, I did.
And what do you do? When you get there, what do y'all do?
We have another drink, we get off on the sandbar, we're just kind of socializing, the music's playing. His dad tied up to maybe 3 or 4 of his friends' boats.
Okay.
So
Did you know all these people?
No, I'm meeting them for the first time, so
Okay.
I'm just introducing myself, I'm introducing Caroline to them. We're just having a good time.
All right. Any issues before noon?
No, not at all.
Was everyone having fun?
Everyone's having a great time, yes.
Okay. You hopping boat to boat?
Yes,
So when they're tied up, you just climb over one boat?
correct, yes.
Okay. Any problems with that?
No.
All right. So let's go further in the day. So 1 o'clock, how many drinks do you think you had? I know you probably weren't counting, were you?
No, but if I were to guess, maybe 1 an hour.
Okay, at least 1 hour probably,
Yes.
right? Okay. Were y'all doing shots as well?
There was a couple shots involved, yes.
Okay. Was Caroline drinking like you?
Yeah, she was definitely, we were going drink for drink pretty much. I've had experience there, so there's a point where I would factor in, of course, water as the sun's beaming and there's lack of food and water, so it's important to drink water. And it was the first time there, I guess she didn't realize to pace herself, and I was trying to give her some water and she kind of was refusing.
Okay. Well, she may have not drank the whole drink like she said, right? You wouldn't know, would you?
I saw her finish completely. I mean, especially shots, you have to pretty much complete it in one shot.
All right. So were you both getting pretty sloshed or intoxicated during the day?
Yes.
All right. Any arguments at all, or did you feel like you were still in love with this lady?
No, we were having, I loved her, we were having a great time. We were both still excited. It was our first time there. She kept saying, it's our first time, I'm having a great time, I love it, I love it.
All right. So would you characterize the whole day from the beginning as a crappy day?
Not at all.
So as time went on, what did y'all do? Did you start going away from the sandbar, or did you stay there and keep boat hopping? What did you do?
So we actually went away from the sandbar a little bit. We went more north. We were still in the sandbar, we're walking. It was like getting a little deeper because there was a Celsius boat.
What's a Celsius boat? What's
It's an energy drink.
Okay.
They were giving out free cases just for sponsorship.
How many people are there, would you estimate, in the sandbar area? What would you
It's
estimate?
pretty crowded, a couple hundred.
How about boats? How many boats would you estimate?
Same amount.
It's real crowded.
Yes.
And the sandbar, how big is it, would you estimate?
I'm not too sure.
Football fields?
Maybe half a football field, 50 yards.
Okay, so how many people would you estimate are on the sandbar?
A couple hundred.
Are there also people floating in the water?
Yes.
Are there jet skis there as well?
Jet skis, paddle boards, kayaks, all types of boating.
All right, so you talk about a Celsius energy drink boat. Tell us about that.
So we walk over, at this point we're just socializing. We've been on around Sebastian's area for the majority of the morning, so we want to explore. So we go, we're talking to people, meeting people. I got a case of Celsius, and I actually bring it back for everyone to use, because they gave me at least actually 2 cases. So I gave it back to everyone that was in Sebastian's boat.
They just hand them out for free?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Are there also planes flying with banners and things like that?
Yes.
All right, so it's a big celebration party.
Yes.
All right, so you bring back the energy drinks, and then what happens?
Kind of hand it out. I have one myself, and then Caroline and I decide to blow it out even more.
All right. You see a lot of your friends?
Yes.
Without telling me all their names, do you know most of the people that you socialize with?
Yes.
Did Caroline know anybody that you knew of?
At times, the majority not. This was the first time that she was meeting everybody.
Okay. Anthony Mimo, did she know him?
Yes.
You all been out together?
Yes, plenty of times.
How about the other, Mr. Espinosa, do you know she knew him?
Yes.
And there was a guy named Polino, or what was his name?
Stephen?
Yeah, he was on the boat with you originally?
No.
Oh, okay. All right. So you introduced her to some people that she did not know, right?
Yes.
Was everything going fine?
Yes.
No issues?
No issues.
And did there come a time where they became an issue?
No.
Never?
No.
All right. So there came a time that that brought you there left, remember that?
Yes.
Tell us about that. What do you remember about that?
So we were boat hopping at that time, so we went to the south side where the bigger yachts parked, because they have to be in deeper waters. Of course, they're bigger boats, so we were boat hopping, we swam there. We were there maybe for an hour, Caroline and I. It was actually a sponsored vodka boat, so they were giving out tastes of their vodka.
Do you remember the name of the boat?
It was a Thule.
Okay. Do you know the name of the vodka?
It was a Thule.
Oh, no, okay.
Yeah.
All right. Not truly, but a Thule.
A Thule, yes.
Oh.
So there's a DJ, we're checking it out, like, oh, maybe we'll come out later.
There's a DJ on this boat?
Yes, it's like a 3-deck boat, so they had a full DJ equipment on top.
So it's like a super yacht.
Pretty much, yes.
Okay. And anyone can just hop on, hop off?
Yes, I mean, Boca Bash is like a big party, so sometimes you could just go on anyone's boats, everyone's welcoming pretty much for the most part, and people are boat hopping all day.
All right. So you go on this boat to Thule, what time do you think that was?
This was probably at like midday, 12:15-ish.
Okay. What do you do there?
They offer us a taste of their vodka, as they're giving pretty much everyone.
When you say a taste, you mean a can?
No, they gave me like a red solo cup and a mixed drink, pretty much.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
You're not denying you were drinking?
No.
Oh, okay.
Pretty much everyone was drinking.
Okay. But this is not the first day you drank, obviously.
No.
All right. So you're on the boat, you get a sample of their alcohol, then what do you do?
We're just saying hi to people, socializing, and then we decide to swim back to Espinosa's boat. It was a 3-part swim. I mean, we were kind of tired at that point. We were hanging on to his anchors, asking him to use floaties and things like that. So.
And this is around noon? 1 o'clock?
1 o'clock at night.
Where were your belongings?
Espinosa's boat.
And when I say belongings, what did you have?
I had a backpack.
What else? Anything in the backpack?
I believe my cell phone was in my backpack as well.
And did Caroline Schwitzsky bring any belongings?
She had her cell phone and possibly a bag that was also in my backpack.
You lost me. She had a cell phone and what?
Possibly a bag or some clothes that was also in my backpack.
Oh, okay. So you had her clothes
Correct.
in your backpack.
Correct.
And where was her phone?
It's somewhere in my backpack as well.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So you swim back. You said you guys were getting a little tired.
Yes, it was a far swim, so because they were in the deep ends on the south side, and Espinosa's boat was in the sandbar in the middle.
How far would you estimate in terms of yards did you have to swim?
We swam about 50 yards.
Took you guys a while?
Yeah, we took our time. We were breaking and stuff.
Okay.
It was the middle of the day, the sun was out, so
Alright. So eventually you get back to Espinosa boat?
we finally made it back. It was actually difficult to find them because there's so many boats. We almost lost where they were placed.
They kind of all look the same?
Yes.
Oh, okay. I mean, he didn't have a super yacht, did he?
No.
What kind of boat was that?
It was just a normal basic boat. No like center console or anything. 2 engines.
Alright, so you eventually find his boat,
Yes.
and then what do you do?
I actually see them anchoring up, so I was like, guys, what are you doing? It's so early. They're like, yeah, we're leaving, we're tired. Just told people on Sebastian was saying, just told people on the boat that are ready to go.
What time do you think this is approximately?
This is maybe like 1:32-ish.
Okay.
Yeah.
And he's telling you they're leaving?
Yes.
Did he invite you to come on home?
He did, yes.
And were you with Caroline when he did that?
Yes.
And what did y'all decide to do?
I was like, Caroline, what do you want to do? I mean, maybe you can leave right now, this is a ride. She's like, it's my first time here, I had such a great time. I think we should stay. It's still early still.
And that's what y'all did?
Yes. So I asked Sebastian for my belongings, and we were just standing in the sandbar waiting for our next move.
And what kind of backpack did you have?
I had it was like a big black backpack, I forgot, I think it was like a Porsche design.
Okay. So you're carrying your belongings, Caroline's clothes, and both your phones?
Yes, I had everything in my backpack to make it easier on us.
All right. And when you're on the sandbar, the water is not affecting anything in the backpack?
Correct.
All right, so they leave. What do y'all do? You go to the sandbar, then what do you do?
Yeah, we're on the sandbar, kind of just socializing around still. I'm trying to figure out where we're going to go next. I realized that I called some friends, or people I knew, and someone had they were docked more into like the channel, deeper area on the west side. So they mentioned they had a paddleboard and they could come pick us up.
Okay. Did you have any food during this time period?
I don't think so, no.
How about water?
Maybe one or two, but it was hard to come by. A lot of people drank it by then.
Oh, okay. So you called a friend who was in deeper water on their boat?
Yes, because they came quite later.
All right. And they came with a paddleboard to get you?
Yes.
Tell us about that. What did y'all do?
They came to pick us up. It was 2 individuals. They picked up Caroline and I on the paddleboard, so 4 people were sitting on the paddleboard, and they brought us over to where their boats are tied up.
All right. And that was how far we just made from the sandbar area?
So the sandbar was in the center, so we headed west, maybe 40, 50 yards.
Okay. And when you get there, what do you do?
We get on, it's Captain Doobie's boat, and they were tied up with Braden's boat. And all their boats were along the line as well, but those were the 2 that I was going back and forth on.
And Anthony Nemo, what boat was he on?
He was on the Braden's boat.
Okay. And these 2 boats, can you describe them for us? What kind of boats they are? Captain Doobie's boat and Braden's boat?
They're just normal sized boats. They have maybe 10 to 12 people also, similar to Vanessa's boat.
Okay. And there's no like sleeping quarters in these boats?
No,
All right. Just open like fishing boats?
pretty much, yes.
All right. And Captain Doobie, you know him?
That was my first time meeting him.
All right. So you go on his boat?
Yes,
And Caroline too, I assume?
yes.
And best estimate of time at this point, what are you thinking? What time?
This is maybe about 2:33, around there.
So is that an approximation?
Yes.
All right. What do you do there?
Socializing and introducing Caroline to more people that I knew, meeting people myself. We're going back and forth between Braden's boat and Doobie's boat. And then,
Did you go there to network at all?
not to never, we're just having fun with music, we're
I mean,
dancing.
you weren't using this for any kind of business opportunities, were you? All right. So, did you see Anthony Nemo also?
Yes,
Where was he?
he was on Braden's boat.
And did Caroline talk to him?
Yes.
So they weren't strangers, obviously.
No.
Okay. So you're meeting people, meeting old friends, new friends, and what else? What else happened?
Dancing, having fun, having a few more drinks.
Okay.
And then we decided to go back to the big sponsored boat, the Boca boat.
Yeah, totally good.
Yes.
Okay. How far is that, would you estimate, from where you all are?
So it was on the same west side because they were both in deeper waters, but that big boat was like very south, the south side of Lake Boca. We were all in the north. So we had fun the first time, so we were planning on going back anyway, so I was like, can I use the paddleboard you brought me on with? And me and Caroline and I took the paddleboard to the Chile boat.
Okay. How long would you estimate it took you to get there?
We took our time, so it was maybe 5 minutes.
Okay, not that far.
No.
All right. So you get back to that boat, the Thule boat, what do you do?
So I paddleboard, I tied up, we could get off as we were approaching. I tied up, I guess, the boat. And then we're swimming towards the trampoline on the back.
Just whatever time the court wants me to break them, fine.
Why don't you go for about 10 more minutes?
Yes, sir. All right, so you tie your boat up to the Thule boat?
The paddleboard.
I'm sorry, the paddleboard.
To the utility boat, yes.
Do you have an oar for the paddleboard?
No, I was using my hands.
Oh, okay. So how do you tie it up? That's a rope on it?
Yes.
Okay, and then what do y'all do?
There's a trampoline in the back of it, maybe 3 to 5 yards hanging off of it, just tied up to the back of the boat. So
And how big would you estimate the trampoline is?
the trampoline is decent size. It fit maybe 8 to 10 people.
Okay. All right, and then what happens?
We're swimming towards the trampoline because we thought it was a fun idea. And as we were approaching the trampoline, Caroline asked me to go to the back of the boat for a drink because there was a cooler there. As you remember from the first time we went.
All right, and what do you do?
So she's going on the trampoline, I go to the back of the boat. And she's on the trampoline at this point. I'm reaching to the cooler. I show her Caroline, I show her the can like this. And she motions over to toss it. So I underhand toss it.
Were there other people also on the trampoline?
Yes.
How many people would you estimate?
There was definitely about 8 to 10 girls jumping around.
Just females?
Yes.
Similar age to you?
Yes.
Okay. No men?
No.
So Caroline motions to you to throw the can to her?
Correct. I waited for her to get my attention. She asked me for a drink, so I showed her this is the one you want. And then she motioned over, throw it, toss it,
Are
toss
they
it.
different flavors?
Yes.
So the colors are different on each can?
Correct.
All right. And how far were you from her when you tossed it?
3 to 5 yards.
So you throw it like a quarterback would throw a ball?
Not at all. That would be very dangerous.
How'd you do it?
I underhand tossed it lightly.
All right. How many cans do you think you threw?
I think maybe anywhere from 2 to 3. There was a couple other girls waving over because I threw her one, so they realized, oh, I want to drink too. So
Okay.
we're throwing over, throwing one.
So she was the only one you threw on the hand.
Correct.
All right. So 2 or 3 others?
Yes.
Did anything happen? Did the can hit her in the face?
No.
So nothing like that happened?
No, she actually dropped hers just through her fingers. The other 2 girls, I believe, caught it.
Okay. Did you get into a fight at that point? Or an argument?
She got off the trampoline and came up to me. She's like, why are you throwing girls drinks, tossing her drinks? And I was like, they're asking for it. And that's pretty much it. And she's like, okay, I'm going back to the boat we just came from.
Okay. And that was about, how many yards you said?
That was about 40 to 50 yards.
All right. And did you go back to the other boat as well?
Yes, but I had the paddleboard, so she decided to swim. I said, okay, I'll meet you there. And I kind of lost sight of her because I was untying the paddleboard, so I got there a little later. I also took my time with the paddleboard to get back.
Did she break up with you at the trampoline incident?
Never, no.
All right. She was just jealous of you throwing cans to a couple other girls?
That's how it appeared, yeah.
What did you think, it was nonsense?
Yes, I understand. I was like, they're asking me for a drink.
Okay. Did you know these girls?
No.
All right. So you get the paddleboard, what do you do?
I bring it back because I promised I'd return it, of course. So I get back to Captain Stevie's boat.
Okay. And where's Caroline when you get back to the boat?
She's already on board.
One of the witnesses testified that the police going to that boat, talking about life preservers or life raft. Did you see anything like that?
I saw from prior years, and I saw a lot of...
No, that day. Did you see that?
Yes, I did.
You saw a police boat go to that Captain Duty's boat?
Yes, they were supplying the whole area.
Do you know how Caroline actually got back to Captain Duty's boat?
She told me she was swimming, but I lost sight of her when I was untying the paddleboard. And I also came back, I believe, 5 minutes after.
Okay. So she was already there when you got back?
Yes.
Whether she swam the whole way, got a ride, you don't know.
I'm not too sure.
When you get back to Captain Duty's boat, you obviously tie up the paddleboard again.
Yes.
And Caroline's on the boat.
Yes.
Is there music playing?
There is.
Everyone partying, having fun?
Yes.
Then what happens?
She's on the boat. I go up to her and just give her a hug, and I see that she's like walking back and forth, and I comfort her.
When you say she's walking back and forth, what do you mean?
She's walking back and forth, just like dancing around and moving back and forth, just boat hopping and meeting people and
Okay.
yeah.
So nothing wrong with this point?
No,
You had no sign that she was breaking up with you?
no, not at all.
Nothing like that?
No.
All right. And we hear about this butt slapping incident. Tell us about that.
So
How much later did that happen?
I would say about 10 to 15 minutes after we got back.
Okay, tell us about that, please.
So we were going back and forth, just dancing, having more drinks, hopping over to the next boat, Brady's boat. Again, talking, going back and forth with people, front of the boat, back of the boat. And out of nowhere, this individual just comes and just completely smacks her in the behind.
Nothing Carol did. This is unprovoked, obviously.
Correct, yes.
Oh, okay.
It was a shock to everyone. I was just like, wow.
Did you know who this person was?
I did not know.
Was this an ex-girlfriend's boyfriend or anything like that?
No, I had no clue. It was my first time seeing him.
Did he look younger than you?
He did. He appeared very young and sloppy.
What do you mean by sloppy?
He looked to be very drunk and tipsy and swaying.
You were pretty intoxicated at this point, right?
I was,
Was
yes.
this kid way more intoxicated?
I would say so.
Was he like falling down kind of drunk?
Yes.
Oh, okay. So were you with Caroline when this young man slapped her butt?
Yes, I was right there.
Did you see a comment or no?
No.
Okay. But obviously you saw what happened.
Yes.
And what do you do?
So it happens, and Caroline just screaming, and that's not how you meet somebody for the first time. It's very disrespectful. I was just,
Is she furious?
she's very mad, yes.
And what do you do?
I kind of just had to keep the situation, understand what happened, because it was kind of like out of nowhere. And I kind of just get in between, they're like face to face, Caroline, this individual,
Right?
and she's yelling at him. I kind of get between and just kind of like separate them like this, like, right enough, like, stop.
Did you throw him into the water?
Never.
Did you throw this guy into a boat propeller?
Never.
Nothing like that happened?
No.
You beat him up?
No.
You hit him?
No.
How come?
I didn't want to be aggressive. I saw he was drunk and he was young, and it was just a stupid thing he did.
Okay.
I didn't see the point.
Was Caroline upset with you that you didn't do anything to him?
She was. She said you should be defending me more.
And you didn't think it was necessary to do
No,
anything?
there's no reason to.
Did this cause a big commotion on the boat?
Yes, it was kind of like the sense that this kid was very drunk and it's just time to wrap up. I mean, it was late in that afternoon at this point.
Other people witnessed this as far as you can tell?
Yes.
Were other people also yelling at this young man?
Yes.
Besides Caroline?
Yes.
And did you try to calm her down?
Yes.
Were you able to?
I was able to, yes.
Did it take a while?
It did, yes.
How long do you think it took?
Maybe about 10 minutes.
All right. And because you didn't use physical violence against this young man, did Caroline break up with you at this point?
He never broke up with me.
That never happened?
No.
Okay. But she was not happy with you because you were not violent with him?
Correct.
So, you said other people started yelling at the young man, right?
Yes.
And how long were you on the boat before Captain Doobie says we're leaving?
Well, this was on Brady's boat, so
Brady's boat, so-
once that happened, I wanted to separate ourselves, so even the captain was like, okay, I think you guys are going that boat again, and
Okay.
we're gonna leave, because this guy's very drunk, and it was time to go at the time as well.
So Brady's boat decided to leave,
Yes.
and the guy who was drunk, who caused the commotion, he was still on Brady's boat?
Yes.
All right, so y'all didn't stay on that boat.
No.
So where did you go from there?
So we're on back to Doobie's boat. At that point, I had Caroline on my lap at the front of the ledge, the railing, and just saying everything's fine, don't worry about it.
Was she still hot?
Yeah, she's very upset still.
Did Brady's boat leave?
Yeah, they were starting to pull away and head back towards the north where the boat ramp was.
Was Captain Doobie's boat tied up to Brady's boat?
Yes.
So the people on that boat also were witnesses to some of this?
Yes.
All right. So the other boat leaves, you're on Captain Doobie's boat, you're sitting down, you said towards the front of the boat?
Yes.
Does Caroline get up a couple of times? Will she stay there?
Not
What
at that
happens?
point, no. Well, they're untying Brady's boat, so they're still already in the area. So shortly after I'm coming down, she finally comes down, I'm hugging her, I was like, everything's fine, don't worry about that kid, he's very drunk.
Were you trying to hold her in prison?
No.
You trying to
No.
keep her there and prevent her from getting up?
No.
Did you ever dig your fingers inside of her?
I would never do that.
Whether it's her groin or a private part, did you anything like
There's
that?
no reason for me to say no.
So that never happened?
Never happened.
Okay. So you're on the boat, trying to calm her down, so eventually she calms down, right?
Yes.
And then what happens?
Shortly after, we hear the captain, because he sees Applegate's leaving, so he's like, okay, I'm gonna leave too.
This is Captain Duty,
Yes,
the guy you didn't know.
correct.
And you didn't comment with him, obviously.
No, I didn't.
What, does he say something about life?
He screams out loud, we're leaving too. We don't have enough life jackets for her on the boat. If you didn't come with us, you have to get off.
How do you guys get home, you know?
So at that point, we're kind of like, what do we do, Caroline and
What time is it, would you estimate?
I? I would say less than 5 o'clock.
And at this point, you didn't know what to do.
Yeah, we didn't know what to do.
So he yells at you guys to get off the boat?
Yes,
Not just you, anyone who didn't have,
correct. There's more people, I believe, that left as well.
who didn't have a life jacket?
Correct.
All right, so,
Is this a good time to stop, Mr. Chairman?
yes, sir.